3 mistakes I made as a wedding videographer so you don't have to. This is real stories, real life, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Hi guys, my name is Mateen from Tenor Productions. I hope you guys are doing well and safe. So we're back here filming some YouTube content for you guys, and one thing that's come to my mind is, okay, I came into the industry with no knowledge, with no experience, generally I had the passion, but I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do until I started researching, until I started doing weddings more. Then I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. And along that journey I made so many mistakes, but here's the top 3 mistakes I made. Okay guys, first and foremost is gear. Now, if you're like me, you're like everyone else, you're on Instagram, you've just seen all these creators with different types of lenses, different types of bodies, different types of gear, and you're thinking to yourself, you'll be like, I'm never gonna get there. This is a message for you saying, do not compare yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. So this is a real life example that happened. So I was at a wedding in Accrington and I was the main videographer, so I was filming the main shoots. Now in the hall I had the 24mm to 70, and I recently bought that lens. It was a Sigma 2.8 24 to 70 on my R6, which was connected via the EF to RF adapter, which I did a video on. Make sure you check that out guys. I only bought the lens and it was a chunky and heavy lens, so I connected it to my gimbal, which is the RS2 I had at the time. And when I connected it, I realized the major issue guys, major issue. The lens was that chunky that I couldn't zoom in or zoom out, and it just caused me to film everything in 24mm or sometimes 35, because what I'd be doing is enable movie crop, which is another good feature that you can do to get an extra zoom in. I had that issue of basically buying the wrong gear for the wrong environment. So what I did was I shot everything in 4K and then delivered it all at 1080p, so that way it'd give me more room to zoom in if I wanted to, and then my back was covered. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. If you've got 24 to 70mm lens, you're supposed to be utilizing it to its full capacity, which is 24, 50, 70, and getting the best out of the lens. The second mistake is forgetfulness. Now guys, we're human, we make mistakes, we all make mistakes, and we make those mistakes because if you break the word down, you miss and you're taking away the miss, if that makes sense. I just made that up on the spot, and I hope that makes sense because I am now going to live by that. So you made a mistake and you've forgotten certain things. Now hear me out guys. When I first started in the wedding industry, one of my best friends got married and I went over to Birmingham. He picked me up, dropped me off with the family. So I was like, okay, that's blessed, I don't need to drive to Birmingham. Most importantly guys, I only brought with me one SD card. Now the SD card was a 64 gig and I had another 64 gig that was at home. That 64 gig SD card got filled up, so I was now left at the wedding with stage photos to shoot with no other option. Luckily guys, I had my DJI Air 2S, which I had at the time, and that had an SD card on it. I then connected it to a micro SD to SD adapter, and then connected it to my R6 and got the remaining shots. And we make these mistakes so that we can grow from them. People have told me about them making mistakes of forgetting certain lenses, forgetting the drone. Here's another story guys, here's another story. I've just thought of it. Last year I went to a wedding in Leicester, which was a 2-hour drive. Now I drove 2 hours all the way to Leicester and I forgot the drone, and the client always asked about the drone shots of the venue because the venue was stunning, in a stunning area, knockout. What I had to do was, after the event, I then had to come on a different day and capture all the drone shots on the venue, which obviously took a day out of my time. But then I utilized that day. I went out for a meal, took my mate out, and we had a good meal, and I utilized that day as much as possible. So always learn and adapt from your mistakes. Make sure, most importantly, you don't make those mistakes again. And the final mistake guys is something that is directly tailored to the Asian wedding industry, or even the English wedding industry. With English weddings, everything, the itinerary and everything's done by the dot. So one thing I've noticed when doing English weddings is, shout out to the English people by the way, but when they're doing English weddings, they stick to the itinerary, they stick to it. So whether it's the first dance, the ceremony at 7 o'clock, they do it at 7 o'clock or around that time. Asian weddings, wow, everything is all over the place. You have to be the director, and the common mistake I see guys is a lot of videographers and photographers just let things be, and the event like technically we're supposed to finish at 11-10 o'clock when the venue's about to close. You're there still capturing stage photos. So take charge, guys. If you are the main videographer, if you are the main photographer, you need to take charge and use your initiative. Get everyone on stage, use a microphone, take charge, be a director. Because if you don't, you're going to be there, you're going to be delayed, you're going to be spending an extra hour for nothing. Have that initiative to take charge. Say, okay, guys, family, next family on stage, boom. Next family on stage, boom. Bride and groom, where are you? Let's do the couple shoot after you've eaten. The bride and groom and the family mainly focused on the guests and feeding the guests, as well as the decor and the venue. They're not focused on what happens on the day. The videographers and the photographers, this is our duty, especially with Pakistani and Asian weddings. That's one thing I've learned. Unless it's a really posh one, which I've done, where everything and the itinerary is followed. But if you're doing these ones in locally for friends, family, and people in the surrounding areas, make sure, because they look to you. You are the director. They look to you. So have that in mind, guys. And yeah, most importantly, we're coming up to the end of this video. There are 3 mistakes that I think are common. So a few runner-ups again is forgetting certain equipment. The second one is setting off late. Lateness is a common mistake that I've seen people do. The third one is not allowing enough time for the couple shoot. The fourth one is overpacking. Don't overpack, guys. Again, the more you pack, the more responsibility you have, more they're likely to lose stuff. Once you master these 3 mistakes, guys, and you avoid them at all costs, you'll be then a good videographer, especially in the weddings. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. I am on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. If you have any further inquiries, you can email me, send us a DM. Make sure you subscribe. Take care, stay safe, and wash your hands.